What is up, guys? Welcome back again to another auto chess mobile video, and today we're gonna be doing another item build guide. And today we're gonna be tackling about all of the ability items, the last part of all of the ability items, or the last items of all of the ability items. So we're gonna be explaining each of their skills and also their effects upon building them. So without further ado, let's just get started into it. So first up is we're gonna be having the Origin 1. Now, Origin 1 is an active item. So it has a plus 25 ability strength and plus 5 cooldown reduction. That's are its effects. And its skills are, there are two skills for Origin 1. It has a active and a passive one. So first up is the active one. Its name is Mana Burst. So it will lock an enemy hero and it will deal a magical damage within 3 seconds. So for within 3 seconds of upon casting this item into an enemy hero, they will get a damage that is based upon your level or the level of the item. And then after the 3 seconds, an explosion will gonna happen, and that explosion will also deal a magical damage. And the cooldown for this item is for 70 seconds. So that's Origin 1's active skill, or active skill, and its unique passive is efficiency, meaning it will gonna reduce the mana cost by the 10%. So I think all of your items or all of your skills will reduce the mana cost by 10% if you have this item. So next is the Blood Jade Rose. So Blood Jade Rose has a plus 20% ability strength, plus 250 max HP, and plus 200 max mana. So as you've observed, the damage or the ability strength or the ability damage that is been given to us will gonna be by percentage, because all of the items, or most of the items of the ability depends upon the percent of ability. So unlike the attack, in which it will just gonna give you a specific amount of damage, not by percent, ability will have a percent type of giving you ability strength, or a percent type of giving your skills a boost or a boost of damage. Yes, because some of the items of abilities are a depends upon also your how much is your ability strength. So that's why they have this ability strength instead of a specific ability strength bonus. So again, the Blood Jade Rose, its unique passive is, it is not a active item, it's just a passive item. It's called Blood Essence. So it has a 1 energy initially upon purchase, and then every 2 minutes, or I think every minute, there will gonna be a plus 2 energy that is gonna be added to it. And its limit for the energy is 15 energy. And then if you reach this 15 points, you will have a bonus 10% cooldown reduction. And also it will also increase the HP regen and the manager regen of the hero by 0.4 every second. So I think Blade Jade Rose is for me the most useful items in all of this ability type of items or ability type of build. So if you have a problem in mana regen and cooldown reduction, just go for the Blood Jade Rose, especially if you are a ability type hero or a mage type hero or a magic damage hero. So next up is let's double check. So next up is the Cernia's Blessing. It is an active item, and then it has a plus 20% ability strength, plus 3.5 mana regen, and plus 5% cooldown reduction, and plus 5% movement speed. So it has is also a 2 skills. It has a active skill and a passive skill. So first up is the active skill. So the active skill is namely Wind Protection. It's just basically blow your hero for 1.75 seconds in the air, and you will gonna be immune to all of the damages and also all of the crowd control or stuns and slow for 1.75 seconds. So your character will just gonna flow up into the air, and that's the active skill of Cernia's Blessing. And it has a cooldown reduction for 45 seconds. And its unique passive is it will gonna reduce the mana cost by 10%. So Cernia's Blessing is also a good item for escaping, or I think Cernia's Blessing is gonna be useful for those heroes that are squishy or has a less skills that can help them in escaping. So you can use Serenia's Blessing in escaping, or just by for squish heroes you can use Serenia's Blessing. And then next up is the Bloody Finale. It will have a plus 15% ability strength, plus 550 max HP, and plus 5% cooldown reduction. It has also a 2 unique passives. So it has a 2 skills or 2 unique passive. So first up is Sacrifice. So if the ability deals damage to a hero, it will gonna deal an ignition effect, and it will gonna deal a magical damage that depends upon the 0.8% of the current HP plus 20 of that. So let's say for example, if the ability Sacrifice will activate, enemy will have you will gonna deal a magical damage to the enemy that has that is equivalent to their 0.8 HP, and that 0.8 HP will be also added up by a plus 20 magical damage also. So it's up to you to do the math, but yeah, that's the Bloody Finale. This type of skill will gonna be deal by per second, so it is very very useful, or very OP. This item is a very OP, and it will also reduce the enemy's healing effect for 40% for 4 seconds. So this Bloody Finale item is very OP for me, as in my opinion. I don't think it has a cooldown to its Sacrifice skill, or this first type of passive skill. So better use Bloody Finale for those heroes that I think for high attack movement speed, or high attack movement speed, high attack speed. So better use Bloody Finale for that, because it has a it has a lot of merits, and it has a lot of skills that is very useful for you and for your hero. And then its other skill, is Transform. It increases magic penetration by 10%. So I think Bloody Finale and Blood Jade Rose for me is the very OP item in the ability section of items. So next up of the Bloody Finale will gonna be Silence. So Silence is an active item. It has a plus 30% ability strength, plus 5% ability life steal, and plus 3.5 mana regen. So its active, or its skill, is called the Doom Mark. So if you mark up the enemy, it will gonna mark the enemy for 3 seconds, and it will gonna reduce their movement speed by 30% for also 3 seconds. And after the mark will gonna be end up, it will gonna deal a magic damage that is equal to the 20% of the damage that heroes take during the mark. So let's say for example, you've used the Silence into the enemy, they will have this mark for 3 seconds, reducing their movement speed, and all of the damage that you've dealt to the enemy during that 3-second phase will gonna be equivalent to a magical damage after the 3 seconds. So that's just gonna be 20% of your damage turns into a magical damage. So let's say for example, you've deal a 100 damage during the 3 seconds. So after the 3 seconds, that 20% of that 100 damage will turn into a magical damage, and it will just gonna also deal, so that magical damage will also gonna deal to the enemy. So Silence is very nice for, I think, support heroes. You can go for Silence and just accompany your very high damage hero, very high damage ally heroes, or very high movement speed or attack speed heroes for you. So Silence, for me, is the very good item for all of the support heroes. So better use Silence for those support mains. So next up is Abyss Lord Crown. So it will have a plus 25% ability strength, plus 5% magical resistance, and plus 150 max HP. So it has again a 2 unique passive skills, or yes, 2 passive skills. So first up is Gaze. It will release the ability to get a 5% ability strength for 4 seconds. It will stack up to 3 times. So upon hitting the enemy hero, you will stack up your ability strength for 5%, and for within 4 seconds, it will just gonna stack up for 3 times. So I think Abyss Lord Crowns is very nice for those heroes that can deal a magical damage for its basic attack, and you can build up a high attack speed items together with Abyss Lord Crown. So in order for you to fully utilize its skills or its effect. And its other skill is the Abyss. You will get a 10% magical penetration. Next up is the Eternal Ascender. So you will have a plus 20% ability strength, plus 450 max HP, and plus 5% cooldown reduction. So its unique passive is called the Ascendance. So if the ability strength is higher than 50%, add an additional 10% ability strength. So this is what I'm talking about. This is an example of the item that revolves around, or its skills revolves around how much percent is your ability strength is. So Eternal Sander is one of them. So just like its passive said, if you have a plus, or if you have a 50% or more to your ability strength, Eternal Sander will add a additional 10% to your ability strength. Now, if you have a 110% or higher ability strength, Eternal Sander will again add up a 10% ability strength to your hero too. So it will gonna be a 110 plus 20, so it will gonna have a 130 ability strength percent damage. So that is a very high damage for me. And yeah, just do the math and that's it. Eternal Ascender is also good for if you want to revolve around your heroes, or if you want to build items around heroes that focuses on ability strength. So go for Eternal Ascender. But I think Eternal Ascender will come later on as an item, not for an early item, because just like the skill says, it relies upon how much your ability strength, or how much percent is your ability strength is. So go for Eternal Ascender if you want to revolve around your hero, or if you want to revolve around your items and increasing your ability strength percent, and build up this in a later game. So that's it. Then next up is the Primordial Loss Rhythm. So it has a many effects. So it has a plus 5% ability strength, plus 15% ability lifesteal. So ability lifesteal, just like physical lifesteal. Every time you deal ability damage to the enemy, you will gain a lifesteal 15% of that. So you do the math. Then plus 250 max HP, plus 250 max mana, and plus 5% cooldown reduction. So again, the difference between ability lifesteal and physical lifesteal is you need to deal a magical damage to the enemy in order for you to have a lifesteal. So I think physical lifesteal is still better. Is a better lifesteal than ability lifesteal. Well, anyways, it has a unique passive called Echo. It will just increase your cooldown reduction by 50% to all of your ultimate abilities. So all of your ultimate abilities will gonna be reduced to a 15% cooldown reduction. So if you have a 100 cooldown reduction, then minus that 15% if you have this item. Do the math. So that's it. And second to the last is Infinite Entity. So it has it is a active item. So it has also many effects. So plus 10% ability strength, plus 15% ability lifesteal. It is very nice to partner up with Primordial Lost Rhythm. Plus 250 max HP, plus 250 max mana, and plus 10% cooldown reduction. Whew. So its unique skill, or its active skill, is called Infinity. It will remove all of your 20% max mana and resets all of the cooldown of your abilities. So it will gonna remove 20% of your mana, but in return it will reset all of your cooldown, or all of your abilities cooldown. So let's say for example you use up all of your skills, just pop up in Infinite Entity, and then all of the cooldowns of that 4 skills, or all of your skills, will just gonna go back to 0. But it's a cost for a 20% of your mana. So better use this item wisely. If I was just gonna use this, I will just gonna use this for those heroes that has a very impactful or has a very high damage ulti. Let's say for example Zeus. I will just gonna use my ulti, and then Infinite Entity, and then OT. So times 2 ulti, that's very duper super duper OP. So last one of these items is also an active item. It is called the Voodoo Staff. So it has a plus 35% ability strength, plus 5% ability lifesteal, and plus 35 mana regen. So I think this one is also very helpful for those support heroes or support base heroes, because Voodoo Staff, its active skill is called the Hex. It will gonna mark up the enemy, and it will gonna be turned into a penguin for 1.5 seconds, and after the transformation, or after the 1.5 seconds of becoming a penguin, their movement speed will gonna be reduced for 30% for another 1.5 second. And after the mark that has been ended, or all of the penguin and the movement speed, 25% of the damage that the hero takes during the penguin phase and the slow movement phase will gonna become a extra magical damage. It has a cooldown for 60 seconds. So Voodoo Staff has the same effect of silence, but Voodoo Staff has a much more higher percentage than the silence. Silence will only gonna deal 20% or 20% accumulated damage, but Voodoo Staff will gonna deal 25% accumulated damage. So again, I'll just gonna explain it. During a penguin phase and a slow movement phase, it will gonna be total overall thing 3 seconds. So during that 3 seconds, all of the damage that you've dealt and also your allies' damage that has been dealt to the enemy will gonna be summed up into a 25% magical damage. So again, Voodoo Staff and Silence is very nice support items, but I think Voodoo Staff is much better support item than the Silence, but Voodoo Staff is much more expensive than the Silence. Silence is only 3,750, while Voodoo Staff is 6,000. So I think Voodoo Staff will gonna be useful in the later game, in which most of your enemy heroes and all of your allied heroes has a full item, so you can focus on getting all of your golds that you want, and then item for a Voodoo Staff. I think Voodoo Staff is a very game changer for all of the support heroes. So I think that's it. If you have any questions, just comment down below. I will gonna answer it for you, no problems. I'll read all of the comments. And that's it. If you've learned something again, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And that's it. Buyers, see you in the next video of Auto Chess Moba. Say bye, monkey. Yeah, thank you. Bye.